Hello everybody, this is Howard the Teaserking coming to you with some surprising and frustrating NFL news. I got an email from one of my customers saying, did you know Oakland laid down in the game Sunday night against Washington? Now last week my lock was Kansas City over San Diego, easy winner, and the over in the Oakland-Washington game. Because Washington scores about 23 a game and gives up about 23. Oakland scores, I think, 26, 27 and gives up about 20. So the game should have been easily into the 20s and probably into the 30s. And I was out, I checked in, and at halftime it's 14-0 Washington, and I'm stunned. I'm like, how could this be? And I'm watching the game, and Carr's been sacked 6-7 times. The receivers are dropping passes, and I'm going, it's got to be the national anthem. I mean, it's screwing up these teams. They're all worried about this, kneeling or not kneeling or saluting or, taking their hats off or putting their hat. I don't know what in God's name the teams are worried about there, but they're more worried about the national anthem than the game. And so I'm like going, well, okay, maybe that's it. I know Pittsburgh had issues with it. Baltimore hated going to London. So you got all these excuses for some reason. It sounds like a bunch of babies that are millionaires playing the game now. They're making too much money, and they don't appreciate it. And then all this rest with not playing the fourth preseason game. And you got more injuries. Green Bay's got so many injuries they can't field the team now. So all these teams have a lot of injuries. Anyway, so I go and read this article today saying Oakland laid down. They basically screwed the quarterback, Derek Carr, because he was the only one who didn't kneel before the game. So here's this thing on unity and solidarity, that the team and the blacks and the whites and everybody wants equality. And here Oakland screws their quarterback. The offensive line was offended. He didn't kneel. They didn't block for him. So there was, 6 or 7 sacks, hurries. The receivers did not catch the passes because they were pissed off. And I'm wondering, now that makes sense why they scored 10 points in the game. Why the receivers dropped so many passes, why Crabtree all of a sudden got hurt. And, I heard that really pisses me off. Not only that I lost the lock, and not for me, but for my customers. And, if I'm giving you Oakland over, I'm basing it on everybody's playing and trying. I understand if the injury, like I know Bradford was out, so I'm not, necessarily taking Minnesota if Bradford's out. So I'm just literally, I've never seen that before. I believe it because I could see what happened. I mean, they're dropping passes. They're not trying the offensive line. Because I'm going, Washington's defense is not the steel curtain of the 70s of the Steelers. It's not the Dallas Cowboys of the 90s defense, or the 49ers of the 80s defense, or the 46 Bears. They gave up 20 points to the Rams. They gave up 30 points to the Eagles. This defense is not good. And they're making it, and the idiots on Sunday Night Football, the announcers are, oh, look at the defensive coach. Look how good he is. They can't even spot that it's a fix, that the line isn't even blocking. They're not making, again, I just saw like a little of the second half and I was disgusted. Now I'm wondering, why isn't Oakland coming back? And now I know they weren't blocking or catching for him. I have a problem with the coach because, he should know what he's got and know there's a problem. I don't know what they do this week against Denver because I don't know how you fix it. If I'm Derek Carr, I'm not even showing up. I'm like, screw you guys. You wouldn't block for me or catch my passes? All right, well, I ain't going to throw a pass, and I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit there. You guys can go figure it out and go find another quarterback. Sorry about that. So I'm just I'm beside my. I don't know how you fix it, because if I'm Carr, I would never play for these guys. And if I was the coach, I'd have a whole new offensive line and whole new receivers in the game, saying, "You guys don't want to try? I'll get somebody in who will earn their money, and I'd let them all go." I don't care if it's Amari Cooper and Crabtree and whatever this offensive line who supposedly so good, but they let up 18. It's like that movie 8 Men Out. It's like the manager was an idiot, because when he sees his ace pitcher who wins 31 games, and he hits the first batter and he starts walking, you take him out right then, because you know there's a fix-in or something doesn't look right. As the manager, you have to understand that. And this Raider coach needs to do something, because, okay, they're playing Denver with Von Miller. Okay, you turn Washington into the 72 Steelers. What are you going to turn the Denver, who are already the 72 Steelers, into? I mean, they're going to have 100 sacks and 15 interceptions, and they'll have 0 yards on offense. They'll have negative from the sacks. So how do you gain that back? I mean, what are you going to do? Oh, is the offensive line going to try against Denver when they didn't try against Washington, because Derek Carr will not kneel because he believes in the flag and believes in not kneeling for it, which is the whole point of what everybody's doing, right? They're all kneeling because they want to say, "Look at me. Not that I don't respect the flag, but I'm going to kneel for unity, and so everybody will be equal," or whatever the hell they're kneeling for. It doesn't make any sense. I would kneel. I'd like to get $100 million in gold bars. You think if I knelt for this, if I didn't stand for the national anthem, that would get it for me? I'm not quite sure the correlation, and I'm not sure the correlation of what the players are doing. To me, they're just a bunch of millionaire babies who, if they have the power to fix it by doing advertising or creating businesses that will help whatever the issue is, which I still don't know. If it's about a policeman shooting somebody, how are you going to help? What are you going to do? Get rid of all the police? Then you have Russia. I don't know. I really, so what is your problem and what is your solution? Which I don't think they have either, and I have no idea. All it is pissing me off, and now I'm losing bets, and I'm losing my customers' money, locking a game, and the team's not trying because some guy says, I respect the flag, I'm going to stand. And then you don't know how to play the Raiders the rest of the season, because, to tell you the truth, how do you trust the line? And then there's got to be friction between Carr. I wouldn't throw the ball to Crabtree again. I don't know who dropped the passes, if it was Cooper or Crabtree or both, but I wouldn't even be throwing to them. I wouldn't. Sorry, you dropped too many balls. I can't trust you. If I was the coach, I'd sit him down. You've got to, because if it's like a marriage, if you can't trust the partner, there's nothing there. Oh, I love you. Well, yeah, really? Or how can I trust that you're telling me the truth? 'Cause I don't trust you because you lied to me. And that's what breaks up a lot of marriages, is the line. If you just be open and honest, everything would be fine. And that's the problem here. So we're going to screw you by not blocking. Okay, so now here comes Denver. What are you going to do? So I'm just, and I believe it was a total, not a fix, but a total, they didn't play, which is stupider than a fix, because if it was a fix, they'd have all gotten money from it, right? They could have went and bet on Washington, and maybe they did. And I don't think the line moved, though. So if you're going to do that, you should profit from it, and you should get $100,000 or $500,000 a man, and everybody go bet on Washington and at least make money. That's how stupid these guys are. So they don't make any money, and they fix the game, and they don't do it. So it's just beyond me. All I can say is I don't know how Denver's going to play, or how Oakland's going to play this week. I don't know how you repair that. If I'm Derek Carr, I am pissed off, and I'm spraining my ankle. As soon as Van Miller hits me, sorry, my shoulder's hurting. I can't play. Let Connor Cook play against the line that won't block for him. That's what I would do. I wouldn't throw to the receivers who drop the ball. I'd throw to the running backs and tight ends and say, well, good luck getting your next contract, because you're going to have 5 catches this year for 50 yards. I don't know how many people are going to sign you for that. It's just a lot of problem. The coach has to get these players out and let them go, because if that's what they're going to do, they shouldn't be playing football. You can't. It's like going into work and spending the day not working and eating and bitching, and it's like, I don't want this guy's not productive. Not only that, he's ruining the productivity of my other workers. So that's what you have here. You got an offensive lineman taking the game into their own control. I'd sit them on the bench, get 5 new ones. It's all the same. There's really not a big difference in offensive linemen, as you can see from Green Bay. Their 2 tackles are out. The other guys did fine. Rodgers threw for 35 points, 5 touchdowns, or 4 touchdowns, whatever he threw for. It doesn't matter. As long as you have a good quarterback, you can get by with injured line. The announcers make too big of a deal about that. But anyway, I don't know. I guess I'll look at the fix. Right now, the line jumped from 2.5 to 3 for Denver. If you see that line go to 4, I would bet as much money as you can on Denver laying the 4, or tease it. I gave you 2 games in the pro. I just gave you 2 college games, and I gave you 2 pro games yesterday. Cincinnati and Detroit. There you go. Tease Denver with Cincinnati and Detroit. Make it a 3-team teaser for as much money as you have, because if Oakland's not going to, don't even tease it, just take Oakland or Denver lay the 4. I mean, because if that line moves, that means the fix is in, and it's, I don't know how you can bet Oakland again, and the league's got a serious problem, because I don't know. I think Baltimore laid down last week. Pittsburgh obviously laid down against the Bears. I mean, look at Green Bay, pounds them for 35. They don't even have good offensive linemen in Pittsburgh, with Roethlisberger and Antonio Brown and all these guys, and they can barely score 17 points on the Bears. So you've got to be. I'm not sure that Baltimore laid down or not, but they didn't lay down the first 2 weeks. So let's just say they didn't want to be in London, and they made a point. So it's a lot of funny stuff going on. These players are making too much money, making too many bad decisions. So again, if you see a 4 in the Denver game, bet everything you can on Denver, because that means Oakland's not going to try, or there's too much problems in the locker room. And if you notice, this is on, if you Google, did the Raiders throw the game, it's on there's a couple of articles on it, and there's a YouTube on it that basically, so don't listen to me. This is not my opinion, but after reading it and watching the game, it's exactly what happened. There's no doubt in my mind that's what happened, because Washington's defense isn't that good, which makes me want to play Kansas City this week in a teaser down to even. Because I was a little going, well, if Washington's defense is that good, I don't know if I can trust Kansas City. But now I realize it's not. Oakland laid down. Washington's defense still sucks. They still give up in the mid-20s. And Kansas City should win that game. Now that I know it's Oakland who didn't try. And I don't know how they just turned the button on and all's good in Oakland land. And then here comes Van Miller and the boys. And now they're going to pound Derek Carr some more. So anyway, that's what to look for. But when things look funny, there's a reason for it. I couldn't believe it was 14-0 at the half. I couldn't believe Oakland got 100 yards. Now it all makes sense. So we'll see what happens. Again, if they get 100 yards, I just keep betting against Oakland the rest of the year, because there's dissension. The team's obviously divided, and they're not a team. And if they all hate Derek Carr, they're not going to block for him, they're not going to catch for him, they ain't going to win any more games. So keep your eye on Oakland. It's like 8 men out. Watch the first couple of plays. And if you see him getting sacked again by Von Miller and the receivers dropping the pass this week, bet against them hard every other week, because that team is in serious, serious problems. They already are. If they did that to their quarterback, linemen you can get's a dime a dozen. I can go get 5 free agents from Nebraska, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Michigan, USC, Alabama, LSU, guys that didn't get drafted, and I'll be fine with my offensive line. I don't need to draft an offensive line. All you can do is have somebody there, have Howard Mudd teach them the technique or whatever. That's all you need. Have Chris Spielman teach the offensive lineman what to do. It ain't hard. You're just blocking. Anybody can block. You don't need to be a first-round draft pick. So you clean them out because it's the attitude, and if they're not going to block for their quarterback, you can't trust them. You got to get them out of there. All right, everybody. Well, good luck. I'm expecting a huge week this week. My pros are very strong. My college, I got 4 locks going, 2 college, 2 pro. And one thing to keep in mind when I'm picking games. I'm not really picking teasers. I'm looking at the game going, I like this game. I like this game. Like in my video, I like Washington. I like Air Force. I like Cincinnati. I like Detroit. That's what I'm doing. So when I say I'm 40-10 in my picks, that's what I'm talking about is my pick. Then I put it in a teaser. In the stronger games, I'm going to play in 2 teasers. I'm going to play Washington in 2 teasers. So that's what I mean by that. I'm not really picking teasers. I'm picking teams that I like, and then I'm trying to pair them up. When I get 2 really strong teams, I lock it, and I play it for more money, which is the key to winning teasers. So when people ask me my percentage of wins, I don't care. It doesn't matter because how do I count Washington if I played them in 2 teasers? I can't count them as 2 wins. I count them as 1 win. You look at the money, and the key is betting more on the strong games and less on the weak games. That's what you look at. How much money did you make, not your percentage. It doesn't matter. I can lose 3 weak games and hit the lock, go 1-4, pick 25% and make $1,000 because I put $2,000 on the lock and $200 on the little games. So the percentage is useless. I'm picking the picks. All right, everybody, good luck. Watch the Oakland game. Any team that will do that and screw their quarterback cannot be trusted. I would never bet against Oakland until they make some adjustments or you see. Now, if they beat Denver this week and they play Oakland football, then okay. But there's going to be dissension on that team. Look for the whole new offensive line. The coach has to know what's going on and has to do something. Because if he lets his quarterback get screwed again, his quarterback is going to start throwing 5 interceptions a game because he's damn pissed off. All right, everybody, www.teaserking.com. Have a great weekend. Good luck to you.